Coming up tonight on 0800 Tardis News, we're going to be talking to Carolyn Tamarkos and Hayden Prankett about the Armageddon Expo down in Wellington. We'll also be crossing live to the UK to speak to Owen French from the Doctor Who Appreciation page. Plus, we'll also be commentating on about Matt Smith's departure from Doctor Who and who could be the next 12th Doctor. All that coming up in 0800 Tardis News.
Tardis News with Sam Summers.
Kia ora, good evening and welcome to 0800 Tardis News. So, as you probably remember hearing about it I should say, Matt Smith has decided to resign from Doctor Who. So after 4 years, he's had a bit of a good time. He's had, a couple as companions, Amy and Rory. And he's also got Clara's there as the companion. So, as we can see here, is what's going to be happening next. Who could be the next Doctor? Well, as a bit of a thing of being a New Zealand Facebook fan page, we've decided to rank who could be the next Doctor Who who's a Kiwi. And here's the thing is, we have had some very good suggestions. Rhys Darby. Now, here's the thing is, I think he could make a very good Doctor. We've also had Tim Shamalt, who, I don't know, internationally you might not know who he is, but nationally he's the Mayor of Invercargill, who also starred as the Mayor of Invercargill in The World's Fastest Indian. So that's happened. And we've also have, Carl Urban, which I don't know much about Carl, apart from remember he did a stint in Shortland Street in the early 90s. Was it known as Jamie, I think. Jamie Forrest, that was the name. We've also got Jermaine Clement. Now, I think he could be a very good Doctor, but as you know, what could it be? Oh, and had some Rex Matheson, which I think I've seen him at the comedy festivals. He could be more of your funny Doctor. So that could be a bit of a thing. Plus, a little bit of a joke one here. I don't know why someone suggested it, but John Campbell from Campbell Live. He might have the face like Matt Smith, but he definitely would not suit the role as the Doctor. I don't know. I think he's a bit on the older side of the career and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of one of those sorts of things. Di Henwood, which people would know Di Henwood from the TV show 7 Days. He, I think, could really pull off the role. And as me, I think, I'm not sure. I think he's Maori, but I'm not exactly sure what race he is. But could be one of the first black doctors, but he's not that black. So it's one of those things. Tiburera Morrison, who was known as Dr. Roe Putter from Shortland Street. He could possibly play the Doctor. Don't know how that would go. It'll be very interesting to see, but it's one of those things. Jeremy Corbyn, which is the host of 7 Days. I really do think he would be a very good Doctor in Doctor Who. But, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that you've got to fit in with. Martin Henderson, which I remember he played, now it was Martin Henderson. I'm trying to think, yeah. Stuart Nielsen, he played on Shortland Street. Yes, had to get the right name right there, because, for some reason I was thinking Stuart Henderson. He could possibly do the role, don't know. I mean, it would be a bit interesting to see. Plus, and I don't know why this was chosen, but Don Brash definitely a no-no. I mean, keep pitch this. Will the Tardis... don't worry. I'll just have to go back in time to check the stock exchange to make sure my shares are getting to the right price, so I know what to invest in as a, ex-reserve bank governor. He probably put some posh, fancy British accent on. I think he'll be good at that, but, don't really think Don Brash will be a good option for the show. So it's one of those things that you're going to have to sit there, weigh up. And I've also been told myself, now boys, thanks to Uncle Richard, and I have to say thank you to you, and, having to say that I would play the 12th Doctor. What is it? My hair? How I could act the role? I don't know. But, you'll hear from me later on tonight, along with Hayden, because him and I will give you a ring. So, you can explain to me over the phone why I could be the 12th Doctor, considering you said you barely have even watched the show. So, it's one of those things. Also, went to Armageddon Expos. Now, I've got some footage of Sylvester McCoy there, and it was a bit of a good show. We've got him tapping the spoons at that, and going to have a bit more commentary. So, we're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be joined by Hayden Prankett and Carolyn Tamarkos, who both went to Armageddon Expos, and look forward to that. Thank you.
Young man, do you know what you have just done? You have transferred us in time and space, and I hadn't even set the controls. Now I don't know where we are. We can be anywhere in the universe, and at any time. Rather exciting, isn't it? If they call us monsters, what must they be like? That's how they know what we're doing. It's a trap! Go back! Stop the countdown! The bomb will destroy the planet!
Welcome back. So, we've joined here by, we've got Hayden Prankett here on my couch, my little brother. So, how's it going? God, you're a bit shy for the camera. And we've got Carolyn Tamarkos, who's coming live from Tauranga. So, how are you today?
Good. Pretty good. Little chilly. Good.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's just what you call it, the blistering weather of New Zealand. So, as rated at Armageddon, probably as my biggest one for going over there, Sylvester McCoy. What do you think, Kaz?
Oh, he was brilliant. What a showman. Just absolutely knows how to work a crowd. Didn't matter how stupid the questions were, he just straight in there, turned them around, made them into something funny and witty, and he was incredible.
Oh yeah, I know. I completely agree with that. I mean, it seemed, because some of the questions had to come out with were, a bit, do you really want to answer that?
Yeah, no, it was very, very well.
Yeah, and what about yourself, Hannah? I mean, at Armageddon, what did you see? Since I know you probably weren't there when Sylvester was going, what did you have a good look around at?
Swords.
Swords? Lord of the Rings, is it?
No, just swords.
Swords. God, that sounds boring. And across over the 3 days, Kaz, I mean, as we can see here, when it came to across the 3 days, which one was probably Sylvester's better day, and what was probably the best day of the ball, since you were at all three shows?
You talking Wellington?
Well, yes, because you went to Hamilton as well. Well, I could probably say, chucking across the 5 days, which one was the best?
Sylvester, that was the first Hamilton. I mean, as Bill said, it's the first time they've had it at the Spec Wellington. They've got a few teething problems, most notably the main stage, which was incredibly noisy. and very cold and quite uncheering and unwelcoming, you know, as a main stage venue compared to up at Cleveland's event centre, which was just great. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the speakers on the panels were struggling, particularly competing against the shooting gallery that was on the other side of the wall. The noise was just, there's a couple of times the African dancing Nixon just stopped. Just waited for the noise to drop down.
Okay.
They'll fix that for next year, they'll work something else out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's, as you say, it was the first time at Westpac, so that probably was where there's a bit of a different change on things. And did you get to, well, I think it's, you probably get the name better, it's the voice of Lisa Simpson. What's the name?
Loudly Smith.
Yeah, what, did you see much about her?
She was great. I missed her in Hamilton, I called her in Wellington, and she was a fascinating woman. She was really interesting to listen to. And again, you know, you keep getting these questions like people say, what's your favourite episode of The Simpsons? Well, we've done over 550 of them. So, pick one, but yeah, no, she was lovely.
Yeah, I mean, you know, well, you know, and yes, I think every, you know, celebrity, especially if they've done television series, they probably would have been asked that sort of question. So it's one of those ones that, you know, where do you draw on it? You know, where do you stop and that sort of stuff?
I know Joe Flanagan at Olympic, and somebody said to him, what's Colonel Shepherd's best line ever? And he said, well, you tell me, because you guys know this material so much better than I do.
Yeah, and also, now to do with Matt Smith resigning as the 12th Doctor, as the 11th Doctor, who do you think in New Zealand should become the, if a Kiwi was chosen, who do you think would be best be the 12th Doctor?
Anyway, Tim Barn, who is now head of South Pacific Pictures. He was off the Almighty Johnson's, Outrageous Fortune, Shortland Street. I went to school with Tim, and I've never seen him do comedy on TV, but he would have been, what, 7th form, so 17, he did the best pup in Midsummer Night's Dream I've ever seen, and I think Tim as the Doctor would be incredible.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Okay. And also, like, who I'll personally choose, Rhys Darby. Yeah, he's known from the 2 Degrees ads.
Yeah.
I think, you know, yeah, I mean, throwing a couple of different things out there, it does, you know, throw things. I mean, if I could probably picture Tim more as that, you know, size-wise, he'll be more like Patrick Troughton. However, I think he would be completely different from him, you know, physically. Yeah.
There's an interesting article I read, I can't remember, it was by one of the script writers, and they said, who would you like to see? They said to him, would you like Ian McKellen as the Doctor? And he said no, because any of the big name stars come with so much of who they are before. And he said, you know, the thing about the Doctor is that not only do you not know who the new Doctor is, but the new Doctor doesn't know who he is. So he said that's why it's really good when it's a relatively unknown actor that plays the part.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah. Also, who do you think could be the next Doctor, Hayden?
Carl Urban,
Okay, why would you say that?
because he's amazing.
He's amazing. What do you think about that, Kaz? Carl Urban?
They wanted to criticise the door frame and the Tardis.
Yeah.
The photo of him and Jason Momoa, and he sort of comes up to about here on Urban. Maybe Momoa's 6 foot.
Yeah, it'll be like probably having to pick Clara up and walk her around instead of having her right by the side.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I hope they go relatively unknown rather than a big name.
And one of the things that got suggested here, John Campbell. A definite no.
I mean, I love John Campbell, watch him every night, but as Doctor, not so sure about that.
And what about our lovely Mirror of Invercargill, Tim Shebelt? Maybe he's what do you call it, a spoof or something, but I don't know about really playing the character.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think that'd be the one thing that would scare the Daleks, wouldn't it?
Tim Shebelt scaring the Daleks. God, that would be a bit interesting. Exterminate. Yeah, so it could be a bit interesting. You think Tim Shebelt could be a good Doctor? Yeah, and also I had to get this, and you're going to have to laugh at it. I posted the question, which you might have seen earlier on the Facebook page, about, who could play the Doctor. Uncle Richard had to say I would be good at playing it.
Uncle Richard.
Yes, my uncle.
Right.
I don't know why. He barely even watched Doctor Who. Like, if you sit there and compare it to my... Because there's, 10 years between my dad and Uncle Richard, at least. There could be more, I'm not exactly sure the big gap. But there's a big gap. Dad was little when Doctor Who first screened on TV, while Uncle Richard, was a teenager and you did your own thing then. So that'll be why the two don't really know so much about Doctor Who. Yeah. And now, the Atlas Chronicles, the book you've written, which has a fan... was it a character obsessed with Doctor Who? Tell us a bit about it.
Yes, the Atlas Chronicles is a series.
Yes.
Is Keeper of the Atlas.
Keeper of the Atlas, yes.
And yes, it's not about Doctor Who, there's this book copyright. One of the characters is obsessed with sci-fi. I did have to pay horrible amounts of money to run the manuscript past the copyright lawyer, so I knew what you could say and what you can't say. You covered a lot by fair use these days. It's okay for a character to say that he loves Doctor Who, but he can't actually fight the Dalek. You also can't even refer to the Tardis as the Tardis, because that's trademark.
Well, as Tardis is the blue police box.
The blue box.
The blue box. The little, what do you call it? Little things you have to sit there and be tedious about.
But no, the basic premise of the story is the two main characters, Hamish and Brianna, they're 15, and they trace their ancestry back over 1,000 years to the Welsh princes of Powys and Dover. However, there is a mysterious secret to their ancestry that they are unaware of, and the appearance of a mysterious stranger in their lives who gives them a mysterious old atlas leads them on a desperate quest where they find themselves fighting creatures that they only thought existed in mythology. And as if that wasn't enough, they're also being chased by an immortal medieval knight who wants to kill them to prevent them from saving the world from a terrible future.
That sounds a bit interesting. So, is there any book sightings or any, public appearances you're going to be making in, next 12 months or something regarding the book?
Yeah, probably. What I'm looking at doing is, I've actually written it mostly for the American market. If you read it, the word colour is spelled C-O-L-R, etc. Simply for the fact that the New Zealand market is so small. But I am looking at probably, by next year I'll have the first 3 books of the series out. Book 2 is currently just waiting for a final proofread and, my cover illustrator. And then book 3 is still mostly up here. And then once I've got at least 3 books out, then probably next year I'll look at starting off in New Zealand, doing the Armageddon's book, Supernovas from Australia. And then next November, my mum and I want to get over to the States anyway, so I'll try and, there's a convention Austin, I believe, in November next year. I mean, there's conventions all over the States. You can go to a convention every month. It's just crazy.
And I assume your passport will be getting a few stamps in there then.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And I mean, it's been over Americans just so passionate and so crazy. I used to work on the cruise ships and they just, you can't even watch the Ellen show or Oprah to see the passion of the Americans when they find something that they love.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us.
Most welcome.
I assume you probably want to get off to watching the rugby now.
Yes, the last, I've got video live updates going here.
Okay, well, as long as we're winning against France, they'll be the important part. That's who we're playing? I think it is.
Yeah. So we're going to take what the score is at the moment.
Yeah, what's the score at the moment while we're 8:05 PM New Zealand time?
35 minutes in and it's 7-3 to France.
Ooh, I don't like that. Your All Blacks need to bring your game up. Hopefully it's shifted around by the end of the night.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay, well thank you for that, Carolyn. And we'll sit there and hopefully have some more talks about the, Atlas Chronicles.
Yes, the Atlas Chronicles.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so...
It has a copy.
Oh yes, don't worry, I've got one and I've got to still sit there and read it. Yeah, actually, you're going to have to do that afterwards.
All of the old doctors have copies and the Voice of the Daleks has a copy.
Oh good, oh yes, good. That was at Lords of Time.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Okay, well thank you and see you later. So coming up after the break, we'll be crossing live to the UK to Owen French from the Doctor Who Appreciation page, and we're going to be talking about how he became a fan, where he fits on the scale, or what's his DVD collection and that sort of stuff and toys are like. So we'll see that after the break.
This is Invasion Earth, 2150 AD. This is Invasion Earth, 2150 AD. Planet Earth has been bombarded by meteorites, subjected to cosmic rays, savagely invaded by men of steel who have no flesh to pierce, no blood to spill. This is 2150 AD, the year when human beings are turned into living dead men, robo-men, the underground slaves of the world's new dictators. No! 2150 AD, a year that will thrill you and terrify you. No! A year of rebellion, as a brave handful hold out in a last-ditch battle for human survival.
Attention! Resist, and you will be exterminated!
Leading the resistance fighters is Peter Cushing, his most thrill-making role. Come along! Aided by Bernard Cribbins, a reluctant traveler into the dangerous future.
Have you seen the girl? Listen, where's the girl?
Ray Brooks, the boy with the knack. Who doesn't find life so easy in the year 2150 AD? Andrew Keir, Jill Kazan, Roberta Toby, all of them fighting to the death a mobilized band of burnt-out human beings, Robo-Men. With their flying saucers and an army of bloodless, fleshless metal monsters. This is Invasion Earth, 2150 AD. A shattering look into the future.
They're no good! The bombs are no good!